Alright, let's talk about Quran, the concept of the Ummah, the global Muslim community, and strategic framework some critics argue is laid out for how Muslims should interact with non-Muslim societies. Let's look at the textual argument and the historical patterns they point to. The core idea is that Islamic scripture provides a dual-track system of conduct, one from when Muslims are a powerless minority and another when they are the majority. Critics argue this isn't about faith, but about a faith strategy for social influence and eventual dominance. When Muslims are a small, powerless minority in a non-Muslim land, the strategy is one of patience, deception, and victimhood. The key Quranic concept here is Taqiyya, which is often interpreted as a permission to conceal one's faith or even lie about its intention to protect oneself from persecution or to advance the cause of Islam in a hostile environment. In this phase, the emphasis is on appearing peaceful, tolerant, and integrated. The narrative is one of being a persecuted, misunderstood minority seeking only for freedom to worship. The focus is on building mosques, gaining sympathy, and framing any criticism or pushback as Islamophobia. The goal is not to conquer but to establish a foothold, grow the population, and normalize Islamic presence and practices within the host society. It's a long game of infiltration, not confrontation. Once Muslims reach a critical mass or gain political power, the strategy shifts dramatically. The Quran and Hadith, the saying of Prophet Muhammad, provide a clear blueprint for how a society should be run under Islamic law or Sharia. This is not a framework for multiculturalism, it's a framework for an Islamic state. Key Quranic principles for this phase include Jizya. This is the poll tax that non-Muslims, known as a dhimis, are required to pay in Islamic state in exchange for the right to live and practice their own religion. It's a tax for being a non-believer and it is a clear sign of second-class status. The Quran states in Surah At-Tawbah 9:29, "Fight those who do not believe in Allah or in the last day until they pay the jizya with willing submission and feel themselves subdued." This isn't about tolerance, it's about institutionalized subjugation. Islamic supremacy. The Quran is explicit that Islam is one true religion and is meant to dominate all others. Surah At-Tawbah 9:33 says, "It is He who has sent His messenger with guidance and the religion of truth to manifest it over all religion, although they who associate others with Allah dislike it." This verse is often interpreted as a divine command for Islam to be supreme, not just in the hearts of believers, but in the laws and governments of the land. Punishment for apostasy and blasphemy. Living Islam, apostasy, or insulting Allah or Muhammad, blasphemy, are considered capital offensive in traditional Sharia law. This serves as a powerful tool to prevent Muslims from leaving the faith and to silence any criticism from non-Muslims, ensuring the dominance of the ideology is maintained through fear. Critics of Islam argue that we can see this pattern played out through history and its modern world. Societies that were once Christian, Hindu, or Buddhist, like parts of the Middle East, North Africa, and Southeast Asia, were transformed through the conquest and the subsequent implementation of this two-tiered system. They point to modern Muslim-majority countries where non-Muslims face legal discrimination, social persecution, and violence, arguing that this is an inevitable outcome for applying the Quran's teaching in their entirety. The argument is that the peaceful phase is merely a temporary tactic, a Trojan horse. The ultimate goal is laid out in scripture, is not coexistence, it's the establishment of a global order where Islam reigns supreme and all other religions are subjugated. It's a political ideology clocked in a language of faith with a clear, ambiguous playbook for how to get from minority to majority.